The Seeker's Guide to Enchanting Emporiums is out as of today, like earlier today. I've been editing. It's a big, fat, beautiful Kickstarter campaign that I have loved exploring, and if you back it now, you get the coveted Golden Goo Goo. They should not have done this. This is too powerful. 48 hours is way too long for Goo Goo to be golden. This collection of over 15 locations and wandering merchants has magic items, characters, adventures, quest hooks, bookmarks, pins, and it's all discounted during the Kickstarter. But seriously though, Golden Goo Goo. And also this enormous dice tower. Just click the link in the description, go through the Kickstarter, and back the project if you can. Or just enjoy the goblins. When reading monster stats and entries, you gotta be real scrutinous. I swear you can come across an entry about a baby who farts out wishes and crawls around the underbelly of travelers' caravans, but not notice any of that because the first paragraph of its entry says that it's radically conservative. I was reading through Volo's guide again, and I found a goblin that can get hit with a 9th level fireball every turn and continue dancing the entire time. And if you do manage to kill this magic goblin, a nearby goblin gets the exact same powers. It's a ridiculously awesome idea that fits right into campaigns better than I fit into the cryptid roster, which is pretty well. I'm 8 feet tall and I don't make any sound when I walk and I don't have to breathe. Back to the goblin that won't die, which the goblinoid culture collectively agrees to call Nilbog.
Nilbog! It's goblin spelled backwards!
Yes, they took inspiration from Troll 2. Their magic comes from goblin god history, which is weirdly tragic. In the land before time, when goblins rode dinosaurs to eat tree stars, they had a whole-ass pantheon of gods that loved them. There was Grankul the Hunter and Skigaret the Boogeyman, Harugik, the god of war who was chill enough to pose like this for his photo, Nomog Gaia, the god of war, Kurgor the oppressor. There was also Bargraviek, the cooperator. There was a trickster god of the goblins whose name is redacted, and Throwback, the wheatfield spitter, Bloodnut the flatulent, and finally Maglubiet, who after first edition got fed up and slaughtered everyone but the one with the dumbest name. All of them exploded into dust, but the trickster gods survived in splinters, and now these little Loki-style god fragments randomly possess goblins for fun, giving them crazy powers. If you don't know goblin hierarchy, they form groups consisting of hobgoblin leaders, bugbear assassins, and goblin cannon fodder. The spirit of Nilbog possesses the worst-treated goblins and makes them invincible agents of chaos, ones that other goblinoids have no choice but to respect and give kisses, because their powers are absolutely ridiculous. They have infinite uses of Tasha's hideous laughter, vicious mockery,
blow my nose at you, so-called Arthur King,
and Mage Hand. And once a day they can cast the 4th level spell Confusion. So they run around freely wielding silly magic, and I doubt they ever stop using it. It's kinda scary to imagine just a little guy popping up over a rock, and then he sees a handful of novice adventurers playing in the dirt. Then, wielding his stick of silliness, causes one of them to burst into sudden tear-jerking laughter. He goes on to insult the wizard's shoes so hard that the wizard dies, and then steals a chocolate bar. Like, what the fuck? But they only have 7 hit points, so let's say that one of these guys wants to attack the little bastard. In comes my favorite word, Nilbogism. Any creature that attempts to damage the Nilbog must first succeed on a DC 12 Charisma saving throw or be charmed until the end of the creature's next turn. A creature charmed in this way must use its action praising the Nilbog. So our poor adventurer knocks an arrow, aims at the Nilbog, and instead is forced to compliment how handsome and sexy it is. Nilbogs can turn direct hostility into worship. That is the coolest ability I've ever read. I think Nilbogs could stand to be even more chaotic, and if I were to use one, I'd bump up that saving throw to like 14 or even 16, and then throw in Otto's Irresistible Dance as a daily spell, and then reduce their damage to like 1. Just imagine a creature that you can barely attack, has complete control over your body and mind, but if it hits you, it just goes like, bap. Since the saving throw to attack them is only 12, most people could probably get a hit in. Or you could do an area of effect spell or a saving throw, which brings attention to the hilarious extra ability that they have, Reversal of Fortune. If you deal damage to a Nilbog, no you don't. That's it, that's the ability. I also think it's more of a joke than a power that when they use this they can regain all of their hit points, because 7 hit points is usually a one-hit kill if you can land one. So the 3 possible outcomes of attacking a Nilbog. Outcome 1, you get on your knees and suck its greener peener for 6 seconds. Outcome 2, you cleave it in half but actually no you don't. Outcome 3, it dies, but the goblin standing in the corner enters the spotlight as a new Nilbog. This stupid fortune ability is awesome because no matter how much damage it is, as long as it comes from one source per turn, gets negated. You could fling a meteor shower, or a Tarrasque bite, or a big vat of acid, or a nuclear fucking bomb, and he'll just stand there like, nuh-uh. Fighting one on your own is like a playground battle. If you say, I fling you into the sun, he'll be like, no, you can't because I have sunproof underwear. I got carried away. As mentioned, Nilbogs often form in goblin troops where they serve as little jesters, not helping their allies at all, but constantly garnering praise, which is fucking awesome considering how abused goblins get by their superiors. The existence of a Nilbog is the ultimate revenge, not just against hobgoblins or bugbears, but Maglubiet itself. It's almost like the trickster god used this ability to escape the onslaught. The reason they're called Nilbogs is because nobody wants to say the god's real name, in order to avoid the great goblin noticing its existence. Using them in a campaign is a super fun way to make fights or social situations infinitely less predictable and slightly more frustrating. But if you're playing a game where your players are goblins, having a player character possessed by the spirit of Nilbogism is super exciting. I've actually got a goblin paladin in my campaign, and I might turn him into a Nilbogist for like a dungeon or something. Go get yourself a Nilbog today, and go watch Troll 2 because it's full of goblins, and also check out that Kickstarter. I recently got a new cat, a little orange stinky boy who's just under a year old. When we got him, we sat him down and just said like 50 random names at him until he responded to one, and he happened to turn when I called him Nilbog. So now I have a cat named Nilbog. That's what prompted this video. Go away now. Shoo.